Really important. I think team spirit is so important. I think it's actually quite nice to have someone like yourself around the squad. I think people can think that we're not trying, we're not working hard, we're not doing enough, but we are.
Guys, they're grafting. I've seen it.
we are. We want to be successful. We're doing everything we can to be successful. Sometimes we know it's not been good enough of recent, and we've not give our fans as much. I mean, obviously we've won trophies over the last few years. We could have won more. I've lost 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Europa League finals now, one on penalties, and the last one against Spurs, where, if we're being honest, in both games we was the better team. But it could have been different in terms of that. But yeah, the lads are working hard, and it's a great atmosphere in the place. I feel like it's almost a little bit of a fresh start, and hopefully this start is a good start, and it's something that we can build on and strive towards, and get this club back to when you was playing.
But you know what? It's weird because I said to a couple of my mates in the get your WhatsApp groups, I'm going to be interviewing Harry. I've been waiting to speak to him for ages, and they're like, "Oh, it could be a bit frosty." You said a few things. I said, "No, I think he should be all right." I spoke to him in the tunnel, but I was like, "He's obviously going to be a little bit." And we're all right, aren't we?
No, of course, yeah.
Because I saw you in the tunnel, didn't I?
Yeah, of course.
But it was like, but I thought, I think it's the best thing to do is talk about these things. Is like, obviously, I've said some great things about you when you played for England, and there's been times when I've been critical of you in a Man United shirt. But I've always wanted you to kind of understand, like all players, it's never from a personal point of view. It's always like, in my job, you've got to say what you see.
Yeah, I understand.
And what more importantly, I wanted to kind of just find out from you, like, how does it make you feel when you see somebody like maybe myself who played at the club, who's been here, and some other people in the media similar? Yeah. How does that make you feel? Because I know how it made me feel when I played.
Yeah. I tend to, as much as I can, ignore it all, even though it's hard. Social media nowadays is tough, and no, it's nice to when people speak well of you, but when you play for this club, I think you soon realise that you can get spoken well of and then 3 months later it could be totally different. It can flip so quickly. So yeah, I try and ignore it. I think it's more harder for the players as families, I think.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that. Go on.
Because they're the ones probably who see it. People speak. When I speak to people, they don't generally bring up, "Oh, Roy Keane said this about you, Rio said this about you." They don't bring it up to me. They probably bring it up to my mum and dad or my brother. So I think personally, they're the ones that probably suffer a little bit more than myself. But I understand it's a job. I understand that that's what they have to do. And obviously, I don't mind taking criticism at all on my shoulders. I've had enough throughout my career, especially when you get older. It's the younger generation probably it's more fearful for, because you don't know which way it's going to go.
How did you deal with it? And with that, what's that advice for them younger players? Because I think it's hugely important from someone like yourself.
Yeah, first and foremost, I've got a great team around me. I've got a good family, really close to my friends. My friends, what I was close to at school, I've stayed with the same friendship group. That's really important to have good support around you, good family around you. But obviously, some players come from different countries and don't have that. So, no, the main thing I always say is that you can only do what you can do, and on the football pitch you get judged, and when you play for this club, everything gets analysed. Every goal that goes in the back of the net is someone's fault. It always gets pinpointed on somebody, even though if it could be just a good goal or good well-worked goal. And I think you do become used to it, but for a young boy coming into it, when you're a young boy you have no fear. And then once you make a couple of mistakes, and after a couple of seasons, people start expecting things from you, and then that's when the real test comes. And I see a lot of players at Manchester United break through in 1 or 2 years, and then after the second year, they start getting questioned, and the form dips a little bit. And I think it happens so much. I don't think it's the first couple of years of youngsters coming into the first team. They always get worshipped at this club.
Yeah. What has been your toughest moment in that period of criticism for yourself?
My toughest moment, I think, I probably had a bad 6 months. What was, everything I did was online, and videos on me, and misplaced a pass. I think it got to a stage where anything posted was for clicks, more or less. I can take constructive criticism off players, ex-players, and I think a lot did get it got to a stage where it was just all for clicks and and followers and things like that. The toughest moment, I'd probably say personally, probably when I got jeered at Scotland away playing for England onto the pitch. Obviously, I've had an amazing career for England, and then coming on the pitch there, and then I know it was only their fans. They'd probably say a little bit of banter or thingy, but it got to a stage there. Then I think people realised it had passed the mark of banter.
Yeah.
And I think that was the moment what really turned, and I had a lot of support and help around me there. I had a lot of people reach out to me, ex-players. I must say there was a lot of people who text me who found my number from nowhere, and now I'm really appreciative of that.
No, good. And just to flip it, I mean, during the pre-season tour, I saw a little bit of data come out that you was the best-selling shirt on the tour, which is like such a huge turnaround and that redemption arc almost. Do you think you turned a bit of a corner last season, and the rapport with the fans have gone to a new level for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously the worst season for me was the end of the Ragnick era. That was the period where I wasn't playing at my best and I was making mistakes. And then the season after, Eric come in, and I found myself out of the team. But actually the season Eric was in, the first season, we finished third in the Premier League. I think I played 30 games, not in the Premier League, but in and out of the team. Leacher and Rafa formed a great partnership that year and did really, really well. But I found myself out of the team, but I still played a lot of games, and I felt even in that season when I was getting chucked in, I was doing my job. And then the season after, I was playing every game I was available under Eric. So I'd probably say that was the season what really turned. I don't know if that season out maybe made me realise, and when you're in that rhythm and that moment of playing every single game, you probably start to take things a little bit for granted. That it's never going to be you that sees you out of the team. So as soon as I had that year where I wasn't first choice in the centre back partnership, I'd probably say the season after was the season where it turned. And then last season, obviously, I had a lot of big moments, and those big moments turned into the fans.
Leon,
Leon was amazing.
I was there. It was
I know,
absolute carnage.
So yeah, just moments like Leon. I think I scored 4 last season, and it was all late on. Porto away, Leicester in the last minute as well in the cup.
The winger pit.
The winger pit again. That got. So all these moments got added up, and the fans have been brilliant with me. That's one thing for sure. I've played at Old Trafford through good periods and bad periods, and I've never once they've not been with me. And they're amazing, the fans, and just need to repay them now.
Just after your exploits last season in the attacking area, you don't fancy reinventing yourself as a number 9, do you?
No, not really. I think I'll be blowing after 20 minutes.
No, good.
Get me back.
What to get the best version of Harry Maguire, what ingredients are kind of needed for you to be at your optimum best?
Yeah, well, I'm 32 now, so I'd say mentally I'm in a great place. I think when you get to this age, I think as a centre-back, you know the game, you know your positioning. Obviously, physically, I personally believe I was a lot better when I was 25, 26 in terms of physical attributes. And my game's changed within that, especially playing in the middle of the 3 and not having to run the ball up the pitch, which I used to do a lot when I was younger. But yeah, I think being in a good team is the most important thing as a defender. I mean, you can play in teams, and it doesn't matter how good you are as a defender. If you don't play in a team what's organised, balanced, press as well, you struggle as a defender, especially.
Man United suffer blow as Matheus Cunha has to go off injured against Burnley, with Benjamin Sesko snubbed by Ruben Amorim in bizarre decision. Manchester United star Matheus Cunha had to be substituted due to injury during the first half of his side's game at home to Burnley. Cunha, who joined United from Wolves this summer, was withdrawn in the 31st minute at Old Trafford. Somewhat surprisingly, it was Joshua Zirkzee was chosen to replace Cunha rather than Benjamin Sesko. Sesko has endured a difficult start to his United career following his switch from RB Leipzig. The striker was reluctant to take a penalty during United's shootout defeat against Grimsby in the Carabao Cup in midweek, and ended up being the final outfield player who was called upon. Although he managed to convert, Sesko received some criticism for not stepping up earlier. Manchester United's Mathers Cunha had to be substitute due to injury against Burnley. Cunha suffered the problem in the 31st minute of the game at Old Trafford. United surprisingly elected to bring on Joshua Zirkzee for Cunha instead of Benjamin Sesko. Ruben Amorim's side lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal in their first Premier League game of the season before drawing away to Fulham.